So the SpongeBob movie, Search for SquarePants, is a brand new movie in the SpongeBob universe and features a lot of characters from the show, including SpongeBob, Patrick, Mr. Krabs, Squidward, Gary, the Flying Dutchman, which is kind of odd in this movie, but I'll discuss. And in this movie, SpongeBob wants to be seen as this big, brave guy and such, and he wants to ride this roller coaster, and so he wants to face the Flying Dutchman to show that he is this big, brave guy and such. And the Flying Dutchman, meanwhile, wants to enact a revenge plot and uses SpongeBob as a tool to try to enact that plan. So this was a movie that I was not really looking forward to, if I'm being honest. I was a fan of SpongeBob. I've been a fan of SpongeBob ever since I was a kid. I loved the show to death. I would just watch it constantly. And honestly, it was one of my favorite shows growing up. I still love the character. I still love the show for the most part. There's definitely some peaks and valleys of the show. And like, I honestly have not watched a new episode of SpongeBob since, I want to say 2014, because like, I kind of feel like I've heard just nothing but bad things about the new era of SpongeBob, which that says a lot. But yeah, I have not really watched it. I've only really seen the movies, and this movie looked okay. It looked like another SpongeBob movie, but I gotta admit, as long as it's better than the Sandy Cheeks movie, I'm going to be okay. And this movie is definitely better than the Sandy Cheeks movie, but it's just very dull and very bland, if I'm being honest. Is there anything about this movie that I do like? There are a few jokes in this movie that are kind of funny, whether it's like a quick edit or a line of dialogue that's pretty funny. It's like, okay, that kind of reminds me of the humor of SpongeBob a little bit. But now that I'm thinking about it, most of the jokes I kind of forgot now that I've seen the movie. It's like, oh, it's been a day since I've seen the movie. I'm like, I don't remember most of the jokes now. That's kind of disappointing now that I think about it. Oh well. The 3D animation is kind of impressive. It's like, I don't really like the idea that they're making SpongeBob in the 3D. I feel like it would only really kind of worked, in my opinion, when they did like those Christmas specials in that style of animation. But the movies, I feel like it's kind of weird to have the movies in 3D, but the show is in 2D. I don't really like that. I wish they would just kind of make movies in the 2D, kind of like what they were trying to do with Sponge Out of Water, whatever that one was, where it's like they went on land for like 15 minutes and such. I wish the movie kind of was more like that. And also, there are a few like nice touches here and there, like the opening scene of the movie actually features one of the main voice actors from the show in another role, and I thought that was actually a really good touch and a really fun moment. I won't spoil it because I think it was actually really sweet, and I didn't see it going into this movie, so that was a lot of fun. And also, among the other voice actors, I think Regina Hall did the best of the new cast, at least. I thought she was pretty funny. It is also great to hear some of the other voice actors like Tom Kenny, Bill Fagerbakke, and it's also just great seeing those characters again. But let's talk about some of the things I don't really like about this movie. First off, let's talk about the Flying Dutchman. Now, in this movie, it's kind of weird that they mention the Flying Dutchman and that they act like they've never actually encountered him before. Even though there are several episodes across the entirety of SpongeBob that dealt with the Flying Dutchman. And it's just odd to me that this character is being treated like they have never met him before in their entire lives. And it's just kind of strange to me. It's like, I was kind of like, did these people who make the SpongeBob movie never watch SpongeBob? It's just kind of weird to me. But also, speaking of other SpongeBob material, the main plot of this movie kind of reminded me of not only other episodes of the show, but also the very first movie. Like, the main point of the movie is that he wants to be seen as this big guy, who's very brave and such. And it kind of reminded me of the fact that he wants to be a manager in the first SpongeBob movie. And he wants to be seen as a man rather than as a kid. And it's like, I kind of felt like it was a retread of that at times. And also, the main plot is about him wanting to go on this roller coaster and eventually wants to be brave and such. And I felt like wasn't that a plot of an episode where SpongeBob wanted to ride this roller coaster, but he was already too scared? So it's like, oh, great, you're just retreading stuff from other SpongeBob episodes. And I just felt like, did these people not actually watch SpongeBob? Or not? It doesn't really make a lot of sense. But looking back, even some of the other SpongeBob movies, they definitely had those moments where it's like, this is kind of like, messing up with the continuity. It's like, who cares about continuity in SpongeBob? Apparently I do. But it's not that I'm mad that there's no continuity. It's just nobody notices. And it's just kind of annoying to me in this movie, particularly. Particularly with the whole Flying Dutchman angle. It's like, why are you acting like this is the first time encountering him? It makes no sense. And also, sometimes the 3D animation works horribly. Like, it looks pretty bad at times. Like, there's some scenes where they make funny faces and such. And it looks so terrifying at times. I'm like, that's very creepy and such. I don't know if that was the point, but there were moments in this movie where it's like, this Probably would have been better if it was hand-drawn and such. I get that the hand-drawn animation is a lot of work, but, yeah, I get it. But there are times where it's like, maybe you should have just gone back to 2D. But this movie, I don't want to say if you're a SpongeBob fan, you'll enjoy this movie because, I am a SpongeBob fan. Even though I haven't really watched a new episode in over a decade, I still really like the show. But I just found this movie to be just fine. Serviceable enough. Like, if you were watching this on Paramount Plus or whatever, I think this would be a great time. I don't know if you need to rush out to a movie theater to see this movie, but I did because I like going to movie theaters and such. But, yeah, this movie did not really work for me. It felt like one of those movies that was like, this should have been a streaming movie, which, admittedly, it's better than some of the other SpongeBob streaming stuff that's on nowadays. Like, I refuse to watch those spin-off shows, and I can't. I will say, I don't think it's nearly as good as the first SpongeBob movie, or even the second one, but I think it's better than Sponge on the Run, and I also think it's definitely better than the Netflix ones. So, this movie, it's serviceable enough to the point where it's like, it's not offensively bad, but to me, it's just more, why did they make this in the first place? And also, you could just be okay if you just watched it on a streaming service in the next few months. So even though there are some times where the animation works and there are some fun moments here and there and some little nice touches here and there, I just found the whole continuity just very distracting. Sometimes the animation is not great. And also, it's just kind of felt like there was just no need to make this movie again when they just kind of copy a lot of stuff from the original stuff, like from the first movie or some of the episodes. It just kind of felt like it was made by people who had never watched SpongeBob, but yet it has a lot of people who do make this show. So I will give SpongeBob Search for SquarePants 2 out of 4 stars. Stream it. It's not offensively bad again, but I just feel like I've seen this franchise go to, not necessarily go to new heights, but actually be a good time, and this one is just serviceable enough. Also, I should mention that the ending is kind of odd. It's like, okay, like the very ending of the movie is just very odd, but the rest of the movie is just fine, serviceable. So, who is your favorite SpongeBob character, or what is your favorite SpongeBob episode? Comment down below, subscribe to the channel. This is Pat, and stay safe.